Hello. I'm excited to talk today. This one is a little bit different, and like I said at the end of my last video, I definitely want to move more into, instead of like saying what I don't want, I want to start creating what I do want. And that definitely should be a part of like a channel trailer sort of thing, and I feel like I'm about to start directing people to, sharing my link, and so this is kind of necessary. The first couple videos, and even this one, is very introductory as I get more comfortable, and also I feel like it was important to kind of state a few certain things. My last one yesterday was an apology to people of my past, but also an invitation to anybody who wants to engage, because I've definitely got something to talk about, and I've been very on it this morning. Probably because I am excited to talk to, oh god, Bubbles is about to come in here. I can hear. She is my master. She's probably wondering who I'm talking to. Bubbles! Do you want to meet Bubbles? Bubble! Anyway, I am very inspired, and that is back to my very first video where I just wanted to know what tugs at your soul strings. What are you creating? What are you doing this for? Is it for more knowledge and wisdom and understanding of consciousness? Because I get that, and that is something I want to talk about today. But I also very much want to talk about the time in between, the patience it takes, and integrating that knowledge. Hi, Bubbles. This is Bubbles Lynn. Bubbles, what are you doing? You're in distress this morning. You're stressed. We woke up earlier than usual, didn't we? Yeah, Bubbles is a human stuck in a dog's body. She is a conscious soul. Are you a good girl? And I am too stupid for her, and it makes me feel terrible. It's true. What do you want? No food, no treats. You already had those things. Do you need to go outside? She's like, oh, I guess if she's restless. She is me in a dog's body. Oh, that's been a trigger word recently. Dog? Are you a dog? Are you a dog? Am I a dog? No, you are. Do you want to do a trick? And show the internet your tricks? She does one trick. Because I'm a terrible owner. Spin around. Back it up, back it up. She is like a bull in a china shop, and she gets really nervous of like, I'm really actually surprised that she comes in here. Oh yay, she's gonna relax. Okay. Because I do want to talk about this. I am very inspired, but it's sporadic, and you will experience today. I'm excited to get the ball rolling on this, because I will be inviting my group. It's a very small group of people who I've been able to connect with over this sort of ascension process, and that's the easiest way to classify this, I suppose. Consciousness ascension, but to claim it is to, digress. And maybe that's not even true. I'm still nervous of ridicule and stuff like that, but I will be sharing with them something that I can't even share here yet, because it needs to be shared with people who might understand. Because supposedly we are all in the same boat. But still, I have a hard time believing anybody is in the same boat as me, and that is why I'm doing this, because I know that there have to be, and I'm not going to doubt your capacity because of my critique. But gosh, I'm all over the place. Maybe I can just take a good deep breath in real quick and ground this space. Can you tell that I've created a little bit more of a vibe? I really just scooted things over an inch, my little file cabinet where I am a business entrepreneur. That isn't what I want to gain out of this whatsoever. And that was actually a part of one of the topics that I wanted to speak on today, which I have experience within the service industry, the beauty industry, which are really high-ticket items, high-ticket services. It's expensive, and I don't agree with it. And you would never tell by the look on my face today because I have a full face of makeup. However, that's what makes it all the more differentiating whenever I meet people who, you know, it's rather offensive when people only think that I'm capable of conversation in regard to beauty products, and that's all they, I can't even entertain it because I put my makeup on with my freaking fingers. Like, I definitely didn't fall in line with the, I don't know, okay, blah, 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 blah. But so, the soul strings, that is really that's like my first big question to people. This is something that I'm going to invest a lot of my time into because that's what I'm doing it for, is my life. This life, the physical, and what do I want? I want love. I want a family. I want adventure. I want to see the world. I want, songs written about me. I have this really, really broad grasp of higher love, and I will not stop until I get it. And I have no doubt that I will. However, this has been a dream of mine since I was a kid, but that's what makes it all the more exciting, right? More deep breaths. I'm not used to talking to people, so this is a whole different venture for me, and honestly, I don't expect people to respond. I was thinking about this while I was collecting my thoughts, which I did do for this one. I am not somebody who responds in group, and this kind of goes back to the apology, my second video. This is only my third video, so the video I posted yesterday was my second, and in that one I address the way that I've kind of gone about detaching from people throughout my life, and truly I do think that I've really been on a fast track, but at the same time I feel like I've been moving slow because I do take these breaks in between spiritual conceptualizing, and I am at the foot of a very big concept right now, and I am going to record my conversation with Soul Group later, and that will definitely share a little bit of my kind of what I'm trying to digest right now in regard to my core beliefs, and I will explain how I was led to this because it's my experience, and just because I'm interested in the work of one philosopher right now doesn't mean that I will stand behind him later on. This is the foot of something, and it's gonna be a climb, and that's why I also keep saying it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. It hasn't stopped in the 10 years that I've been doing this, but I did take a fairly long break, about a 5-year discovery. That's you have to find the beauty in what is also probably a big part of your demise. And it was a relationship. It was a long relationship that I didn't get any sort of enlightenment from, except for from the experience. And this is ironic, and I'm not going to be name dropping or calling people out because I'm fully aware of the power of the internet and who this can reach, and I'm not trying to badmouth anybody in any way, especially people who I was very once committed to. But there's a lot of parallels and synchronicities and things that are just really ironic that really hold a lot of integrity to my experience. And am I moving too fast? I'm feeling good about this. I've really been holding this back for a very long time, and at this point I am just so ready and willing to make the changes that this is exactly, well, you'll have to tune into that second one because it's exciting, and I fear it could also be my demise. It's probably what is going to get me, crucified in the end, because that is a part of this human journey, it seems like, but I only claim as much as that as I have to. Alright, there's a part 2 to this. Soul strings. And taking a break, stepping back from the consistent effort. Because that's what I see a lot of, and it's like people are so obsessed with one aspect at this, at whatever point in time that they're in, and everybody's perfectly aligned with whatever they are striving for at the time. But I definitely will be setting up, maybe there will be another introductory video or at some point I'll establish rules, because there are certain things I can't entertain, and a big part of that is no, I'm not, we'll get into that later. It popped into my head earlier, and I'm like, really? I mean, it'll become, I have a huge grasp, but at the same time, I have a really low capacity, ability to conversate, and like, in one way I'm up here, in one way I'm like beaten. And I really just want this to be a positive sharing experience for everybody, anybody who wants to even just watch. I mean, like I said, I don't expect anybody to engage in this because it's going to be a lot to interpret, but I'm not going to I'm not going to doubt you and following along, because it's me. I am so lost in translation right now. Okay, but so I know that I'll be taking a break soon, and even next week will be very different for me. I'm going to be house sitting for the entire week, so even though I just I'm getting my little space together, you can't see right here, but I painted a little mural. It's really not a mural, it's a symbol, and I'm going to do layers and stuff, and I'm evolving, my space is evolving. It's a very 0.0 that I'm in, and I'm going to be at their house for a very large majority of the entirety of next week. And I don't know what will happen. Honestly, I've got several things that I would like to accomplish and do, things that I'm not even Father's Day is coming up, it's on Sunday, and I'm struggling to figure out what to do for my dad, and this is very prevalent in my experience. I want to share my interpretations, and that's going to be a part of the next video as well, including my dad, my father, and what he represents to me, and how I'm interpreting the struggle of our relationship. Even though there's seemingly to be no struggle, there's an internal struggle, and I'm even considering sharing this with him because nobody knows what I'm going through. But to a degree, I've tried to let people in, but I do kind of believe that we are surrounded by people who aren't capable in order to crush us and help us develop even more, and that makes my eyes swell up a little bit because it sucks. It's sad and lonely, but it's also eventually empowering, and I've always invited people along on this journey, and I'm referring and thinking to the group that's about to happen, because this is I've got a lot of belief in this, but this is myself. I've got a lot of belief in myself, and when I say that I've tried to keep everybody So the soul ties. This is a soul tie for me. My pursuit is my soul tie, and I don't doubt that it would be the same for you. And so I hope that there are people who can engage with me on topic. But there's so many topics, and it's so funny. I've got 2 monitors here, and I've got a guy over here. I was looking for royalty-free music, and I meant to click something to have like music playing in the background, because I know that it's like a podcast is just you listening to me, which I appreciate. Actually, maybe I'll experiment with that. Bubbles beckons. And I'm gonna go outside anyway for a minute and take a few deep breaths, because I want to segue into taking a break. I want to alleviate the tension that I put upon myself in being perfect, and like, I'm gonna talk about something that I don't know anything about, and I'll do that when I get back. Well, I didn't even mean to push play just yet, but I guess I'm back. I really probably would have taken a deep breath first, but it's really hot outside. I'm here in a different outfit. You can see my arms now. Well, actually, and this has something, the next part of this, I do want to get better at looking at the camera. I'm looking at myself, but looking at myself is something I really went a long time without doing, actually, and this is going to be, I think, the next part of my chapter is a little bit more physical, obviously, a physical exchange and sort of reinterpretation of myself through the eyes of other people, because of course people who you meet in real life aren't really that eager to tell you what they think about you. Instead, they just say it behind your back and act like catty things. Dang, I feel like I should. I wasn't quite prepared yet. So, it's really hot outside today, and I think that it's important also, as I'm sharing my perspective, that I note and reiterate that I'm in the suburbs. So when I'm talking about this like life that I'm adamant on achieving, that I know exists, it does exist for other people, and it's easy, it's understood, and I'm realizing what a strong connection I have to certain cultures, and I've actually invested. This is Coral. I have the coolest little cat. She has her own little spot right here. So in July and this upcoming week, okay, so July 1st, I start like a class, and it has nothing to, it's a culture, it's a language I'm learning. I would like to learn another language of this culture that I feel very aligned with, or like recognized by, or I'm just now exploring this, but it's always kind of been there, and so that's a little string that I'll be following, and maybe I'll get into that. Oh, I remember. Okay, so this is not something I want to talk about yet, but that's why I feel like I have thoughts to collect, because I do want to do like a channel trailer, and I have certain things that I'm not willing to talk about, and it's really not like anything even that big of a deal. It's actually for the highest good of all, that while I'm expressing and sharing my perceived opinions and observations, that I disclaim certain topics that I will not be able to talk about. Honestly, I feel like probably going outside, I kind of lost my train of thought. I am really excited. My Soul Tribe group is meeting at 1 o'clock, and it's 11:30 right now. I really do feel like I should probably keep this at like 1 video a day at this point, and let like certain topics, because I don't want to speak on anything that I'm not going to stretch for themes, and I do think that the videos each kind of have segued and from each other and to the other, and I like that. So you met Bubbles, you hear Coral eating, and I've kind of alluded to a couple projects that I'll be introducing, and I really just want it to be known, and these are still like the introductory like disclaimers, that I am very modest and I've been very sincere about my intentions, and I feel like I've been aligned with this my entire life, where I really am proud of the order of operations, the way that I've gone about and pursued a career, and I'm thankful for every bit and piece of it, even though it's like I'm starting to get nervous about having to go back to work. I know that I'm thankful that I'm going to be house sitting because I'll get food and $100, but I don't know. We'll see. I guess that's all I've got. So thank you if you made it this far. Thanks, and you might notice another video if it's a channel trailer. I'm gonna be embarrassed because I said I'm done and I'm gonna do one a day, and I contradict myself, and I'm like kind of digressing from my soul strings, and like I've got, like I've said it before, I've got eggs in lots of baskets right now, so just trying to keep things a little simple as I let them unfold around me. A big part of this is for my own transformation and the way that I look at myself and how I feel about myself, where I think it's important to know that I was really, really very hard on myself throughout my experience, like the first half of it, and I have pictures to prove it. I definitely have come a long way, and I'm excited to see where these next few years take me, because I have always had this higher vision of myself, and even having had that, I still was able to disconnect without pressure of continuing to learn and grow and pursue spirit. And that's maybe just something that I said earlier and feel like should be reiterated. Do I believe that there's anything that you can do to further yourself? I'm not sure. And I want it to be known that I am very small-minded, and I have a huge grasp, but at the same time I am basically dried up, and on the other side of it, like I'm like presenting this huge light, but on the other side of it I am so on the brink of, not desperation, I'm not going to use that word, but depletion and not doubt. My hair is freaking nuts. I really struggle with my hair. I've embraced my crazy. This is the longest it has ever been, and I did recently find a picture from like my highest low, which was I think a couple years after my initial awakening. I had a mullet. I freaking chopped all my hair off on accident, colored it. Will I ever share those with a particular group? And that is, I'm glad that I mentioned that, because in my introductory video I do want to disclaim certain topics, but I kind of reserve those topics for a particular group of people, if that makes any sense. People who are invested in like, not invested in me, but people who understand where I'm coming from or can hear something that resonates and want to support me and grow with me, those topics might be better served there. Yeah, so we'll see how the rest of my recording goes. I have to edit this one because blah blah blah, and I hope that the music I figured out works okay too. We'll see what's next. Thanks for watching. Email me or something. I'm still offering anybody who wants like a gift. If you've made it through these videos, I am happy to send you something. You don't even have to like just send me a smiley face or a bunch of random emojis will be the code word, and I will ask your address and I will send you a present. Alright, no, really, thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Just kidding. Okay, bye.